Michael Haskey starts the show. Thank you, Michael Haskey. Let's get it going.
Prepare yourself.
Hey, everybody. Trending Nay reporting and trying to sound like Tron and on to keep everybody all excited and do lots of up talking, right? We're going to call that up talking. We're doing some... Let's get ready to rumble. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Line and take cash in your chips. You sniveling, whining, self-loathing hypocrite. Blame it on Rio or the woman in red. Don't fool yourself, it's all in your head. You're the mascot of the
Looks like we got Rumble back.
Look in the mirrors, count insecurity. I bleed for you, my eyes burn. My point is no, cause you'll never learn.
It's Josh G. What's up, buddy? Hey Lisa! Hey Marty! Tropical thing, yo!
It starts with an F. Bullshit! Fuck you! 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 Fuck you all motherfuckers! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you, Chevron! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you all! Fuck you, motherfuckers! Fuck you, Hollywood! Fuck you! Fuck you, motherfuckers! Fuck you! Fuck you all! Fuck off, motherfuckers! Fuck you!
Hello! Trendy! It's Trendy Day reporting in live from Orlando, Florida. Home of Trendy as towers and all things trendy, where you find me and you, the hashtag Trendies on all forms, sources and sorts of social media. Especially Rumble today. It's actually working. Yay!
I would fucking kill you! If you were here, I'd fucking stick my finger in your fat fucking turkey throat!
Good afternoon, it's so bitter. Hello, everybody. We're on fire again today in the fireplace with me. Look at us. Look at all the pretty stuff we got going on. Yes, yes. We've got your chats right here. Hello, chats. Yes, we've got your chats over here as well. That's what's going on there. Let me just do a little bit of... Hey, Tula. Let me do a little bit of fixing here. Since Rumble won't let you type. Rumble's acting weird, I know. In fact, Rumble was down when I started to put the show together. I was like, oh no, Rumble's down. And I kept trying. And then boom, I was able to get in. I was like, I guess Rumble's back up. I wasn't completely sure. But I was like, well, let's just see. And boom, the chat's up. I'm so glad you guys are notified. But it was definitely not working. And I don't know, maybe that was just a connection that had to reset itself that I had on the browser. It was still going to an old IP or something, or an old server or whatever. But I got it, man, and I'm just so happy that it's up and running, man. You know, it makes me very happy. So I said like Donald Trump there for a second. Makes me very happy. Makes me very happy.
How you doing, Nate?
Big Lee, hey there, buddy. What's up?
Not much. How you doing?
Good.
Very good.
All right. Makes me very happy. Token Tony Z here. There he is. Token Tony Z. All right, man. And Bitcoin is rocking back up to 42.3, which is great. We got it all the way up to 42.5. Okay, that shit wasn't cool, dude. You just ripped the seat up. Harley just fell off my seat, and as he fell off it, he put his claws into it and tore it. Yeah, great cat. So everybody saw that, right? Everybody could see what I have to deal with. And I knew this was the day I was having when I woke up this morning. I said, that's one of those days. Oh, that little bastard, man. Look what you did. Look what you did to the leather. I just bought this chair. Look what you did to my leather. God. Cats with their freaking claws, man. Oh, had to have a cat. Had to have a cat. So anyway, yeah, we are on fire here. We are on the fire. There's something going on, but I kind of forgot what it was. Maybe I can find it again. Oh, no, we're not gonna watch that. My feed, my YouTube feed is so depressing, man. Oh, my feed is so depressing. Oh, God.
I feel sorry for y'all on Instagram. Y'all just gonna be able to hear. Y'all ain't gonna be able to see y'all.
Oh, my goodness. Holy shit! It's raining outside. Yay! Oh, thank you, Tula, for the retweet. Drew, yes, what's up? More depressing bullshit, more depressing bullshit. More depressing bullshit. All they're giving me are these shorts now, man. It's fucking idiots. George Santos expelled. That feels pretty good. Yeah, let's watch that, man. Because, you know, if there's one thing I can't stand, it's fucking George Santos the liar. And what he did. I mean, there's one thing to tell lies and to misrepresent things because you have petty reasons to do so. And then there's just going out of your way to lie to rip people off, which this guy did. And it's just so blatant, and people just ignored it. And after this guy was elected and it all came out, a lot of people still supported him because he was a Republican. Let's watch this video and see what Legal Eagle has to say about it. Let me see if this works. Yes, it does. Alright, let's go up with this one. Great.
Representative George Santos has been expelled from Congress. It's shocking because George Santos had one heck of a resume. He's the grandson of Holocaust survivors, the former star of the Baruch College volleyball team, a financial whiz kid who worked on Wall Street, an animal lover with experience in the nonprofit sector, a producer on the Broadway smash hit Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, and an actor who appeared on Hannah Montana. His life story...
Understand, every single thing, every single credential that Legal Eagle just repeated about George Santos was one of his many lies. Every single thing turned out to get vetted to be untrue.
Has been touched by some of the biggest events of this era. He lost 4 employees in the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando.
Lie.
His 5-year-old niece was kidnapped by Chinese communists at
Lie.
a New York playground. His mother was the first female
Lie.
executive at a major financial
Yeah,
institution.
that's a lie too.
But like others who worked in finance in Manhattan,
But
she was tragically
let's
murdered
go
on
ahead
9/11. Santos has gone
because
through-
we're a bunch of dumb Republicans. Let's go ahead and keep supporting this fucking liar because we're that desperate to win fucking elections and to impose our evil on people, and we need that extra vote. Wow, yeah.
more in his scant 25 years on this planet than many have experienced in an entire lifetime. As some have described him, he's Forrest Gump, but evil. Oh wait, absolutely none of the things that I've just said are true in any way. Santos
Do you guys like that? Oh, and I haven't seen this before, but I knew it.
His grandparents were from Brazil. His mother was a cook living in Brazil on September 11th, and thankfully she lived for 15 more years. He didn't attend Baruch College, or any college it seems. He wasn't a Broadway producer. His financial expertise consists mainly of credit card theft. None of his employees were murdered. His niece was never kidnapped. He's Catholic, not Jewish. He stole puppies from the Amish, and I could go on. However, George DeVoler Santos finally had...
He left out the biggest doozy of all of them. He ripped off a veteran over the guy's dog that needed medical care, and the dog ended up dying.
As an accomplishment, he can hang his sweater vest on. On December 1st, 2023, he became just the 6th lawmaker in U.S. history and the first Republican to be expelled from the House. And you might be laughing now, but unlike most of the members who voted to expel him, Santos really will go down in American history. So today, let's talk about how to get legally expelled from the House of Representatives. Now, all those lies made Santos a fabulist, but not necessarily a criminal. As we've talked about many times on this channel, politicians can lie to American citizens, often without repercussion.
Okay, and that's bullshit. And put me in there, and I'll change that, and I'll make it a law. And if you get caught lying, then you lose your position, you have to pay fines, and you go to jail if you keep doing it. Donald Trump, you'd be in prison for the rest of your fucking life. So would Joe Biden.
However, on May 10th, Santos was indicted on 13 criminal counts of wire fraud, unlawful monetary transactions over $10,000, theft of public money, and false statements. As Scowl Owl Spencer explained at the time,
it contains 13 criminal counts, including wire fraud, unlawful monetary transactions over $10,000, theft of public money, and false statements.
And in October, prosecutors hit Santos with 10 more counts of conspiracy to commit offenses against the U.S., including wire fraud, making false statements to the Federal Election Commission, falsifying records, aggravated identity theft, and access device fraud. The criminal charges finally prompted the House Ethics Committee to start an investigation, and the committee released a 56-page report on
John
November
Mallory,
16th.
right on, buddy.
It says Santos stole money from
Feel
his
free to
campaign,
come on over to Rumble,
reported
bro. I'll
fictitious
give you a
loans,
link.
deceived donors, and engaged in fraudulent business dealings. The report says
There's
Santos
a link
used
to
that money
Rumble.
to cover
Come on
his
over to
personal
Rumble,
expenses.
man.
Now, Santos has a penchant for wearing sweaters under his blazers, but he apparently used campaign funds at luxury clothing retailers like Hermes, although I've yet to see him wear anything that costs over $4,000, as detailed in the report. Santos visited a plastic surgeon and spent almost $3,000 on Botox, which may or may not have worked. He used campaign funds for other medical spa visits, including a $1,500 purchase on the campaign debit card at Mirza Aesthetics, and a $1,400 charge at Virtual Skin Spa. He spent $3,300 in campaign money at an Airbnb in the Hamptons and $2,200 in Atlantic City. He spent money on OnlyFans despite claiming that he had no idea what that site was.
Just discovered what OnlyFans was about 3 weeks ago when it was brought up in a discussion in my office.
What do you think?
And I was oblivious to the whole concept.
Now, we don't know for sure what he purchased on OnlyFans, but hopefully soon we'll find out the naked truth, expose every detail, and lay bare the stark reality.
You're so
The
funny.
Ethics Committee also accused Santos of stealing
What a
campaign donors'
wordsmith.
identities and racking up thousands of dollars in unauthorized charges on their credit cards to benefit his campaign and himself personally. This misconduct includes defrauding other members of Congress and their families. Ohio Republican Max Miller said Santos, quote, had charged my personal credit card and the personal card of my mother for contribution amounts that exceeded FEC limits. Neither my mother nor I approved these charges or were aware of them. The charges resulted in Miller spending, quote, tens of thousands of dollars in legal fees to resolve the situation. Miller claims he had seen a list of 400 people, including other Republican House members, who Santos also defrauded in this way. The day before the vote, Miller and Santos exchanged barbs about this, with Miller saying,
You, sir, are a crook. I know I should direct my comments to the chair.
Santos fired back by referencing accusations that Miller assaulted his girlfriend.
My colleague wants to come up here, call me a crook. Same colleague who's accused of being a woman beater.
Just a real classy dude there. Now, obviously Santos is going to need a good lawyer for the DOJ's prosecution, but if you want a great lawyer, my firm, the Eagle Team, can help. If you've been in a car crash, suffered a data breach, or have a workers' comp issue, we can represent you or help find you the right attorney. It's important to talk to a lawyer right away so you can get the best representation and find out what your options
15 seconds.
are. So just click on the link in the description for a free consultation with my team right away. Because you don't just need a legal team, you need the Eagle Team. The link is down below. Now, the Constitution grants each House of Congress the power to, quote, punish its members for disorderly behavior and, with the concurrence of 2/3, expel a member. Expulsion is the process of ejecting a member of Congress after that person has been elected and seated. The ethics committees have jurisdiction to investigate the conduct of members that might reflect poorly on the body of Congress in which they serve. During the Constitutional Convention, the Founding Fathers never discussed the type of misconduct that would warrant expulsion. They were more concerned with providing a restraint on that power, hence the 2/3 majority requirement. There wasn't much debate about the meaning of the expulsion clause, leaving future Americans with the responsibility of figuring out how it applies. And while the Founding Fathers probably never contemplated a member of Congress using campaign funds to buy an OnlyFans subscription, that probably qualifies as something that can lead to expulsion. Now, the Supreme Court and lower federal courts have not decided a case about the expulsion of a member of Congress because members who weren't expelled haven't challenged their expulsions in court, though some members like James Traficant and Charlie Rangel sought legislative review of disciplinary proceedings that were invoked pursuant to the expulsion clause. But courts demurred because of the political question doctrine. Now, we've talked about the political question doctrine in the past, most recently in the video about whether Trump is disqualified from the presidency. Political questions are controversies that are so politically charged that the courts shouldn't get involved, preferring to leave it up to the legislature, which would almost certainly apply in the case of expulsion. Then there's also the separation of powers issue. The three branches of government would rather police themselves than have the other branches meddle in disciplinary matters. So Congress says it has the sole right to discipline its members, while the Supreme Court insists that Congress has no right to impose an ethics code on the justices.
Yeah, they obviously do such a great job.
The Supreme Court has discussed the expulsion power in dicta from time to time.
They do such a great job of policing themselves, by allowing somebody like Santos to get in there, or Marjorie Taylor Greene, or Lauren Boebert.
For example, in 1972, former Senator Daniel Brewster challenged his bribery indictment on the basis that his conduct was protected by the speech and debate clause. The court held that the legislative privilege does not encompass all legislative acts, and Brewster could be prosecuted. The court observed that when it comes to discipline and expulsion, quote, an accused member is judged by no specifically articulated standards and is at the mercy of an almost unbridled discretion of the charging body that functions at once as accuser, prosecutor, judge, and jury, from whose decision there is no established right to review. Now, some lawyers are
changing gears. Switching gears here real quick.
This morning, outrage after Israeli military admits to accidentally shooting and killing 3 Israeli hostages in northern Gaza Friday. Protesters gathering in Tel Aviv demanding answers. Like Yuval Baron, the son-in-law of hostage Keith Siegel, also an American citizen.
All the hostages we got back in the last few days were all dead bodies, and these people are still alive, can still be saved through proper negotiation like was done before.
The men now identified as 28-year-old Yotam Haim, 26-year-old Alan Shamriz, and 22-year-old Summer Talalka. The IDF claiming troops misidentified the hostages as fighters during intense combat in the city of Shijaya. What went wrong?
Well, obviously, we misidentified hostages for enemy combatants and sadly shot them. It is something that sadly can be expected of such a chaotic
fucking
battlefield.
idiot. You create, you know what?
Calling the deaths an
you create your own fucking chaos, you idiot. You created the chaos. Fuck you.
Tragedy, saying the entire state of Israel will mourn this evening.
Oh,
the
yeah.
IDF telling
They're
me
really
they
mourning.
can't guarantee this
They
won't
should have
happen.
been in mourning when they realized that Netanyahu was committing a genocide on their fucking dime.
again.
You can't rule out
Motherfuckers.
that more hostages inside Gaza are going to die at the hands of Israeli soldiers.
No, hopefully not die at the hands of our soldiers, but definitely that there will be instances like this in the future.
Definitely, we're definitely going to kill more Jews.
So far, at least 20 Israeli hostages have died, and more than 100
They're
are thought
out of
to remain
control.
in Gaza.
Yo, Pinoy.
This is Hamas
They're
launched
out
a
of
rare
control.
rocket attack at Jerusalem earlier in the day. Air raid sirens sounding the alarm for the first time in over a month. Video streamed online shows crowds of civilians running in terror near the Western Wall. At least 3 of the rockets were intercepted by Israeli Iron Dome defense systems.
Fucking A, dude.
Haaretz, which is they're basically a liberal outlet in Israel. They often are critical of Israel, which is why I will often bring to you some of their articles, which is very rare among Israeli press. But they are often critical of Israel. However, they are still within basically the Overton window, and so they actually called out the gray zone as fake news for saying that many of the festival goers, right? That's one of the things people have talked about most in this in the October 7th event, were the I can't remember. I think it was 100 or 200 people. It was a lot of people that were murdered at the rave or festival or whatever music event 3 miles from Gaza, and so hundreds killed. Now, people have said, the propaganda is that Hamas just ran into this festival and started mowing everyone down that they could. Again, if there were evidence to that, then okay, there's evidence to that. But Haaretz called it fake news, that much of it was done by the IDF. And yet, Haaretz has now backtracked, without admitting they backtracked. They have confirmed, the Gray Zone reporting, that they dismissed as a conspiracy, showing Israel killed its own festival goers. Now, in terms of the definition of false flag, I guess people normally use it to mean something that is planned ahead of time, that you blame on, you kill your own civilians and blame them on someone else. Maybe the most famous one was when to set off World War. One of the things that set off World War II was, or it set off the invasion of Poland, was Hitler dressed up some of his Nazis as Polish soldiers, and then attacked a radio tower or something. I can't remember all the details, but and told everyone that Poland attacked him or attacked the Nazis. But so I guess it's possible that the dictionary definition would be you have to plan ahead to do this thing. But the propaganda now is the false flag at half-mast, which is saying that Hamas killed all these festival goers, when we know that is not true, at least not for all of them. And where's that information coming from? It's the Gray Zone's reporting it, but it's coming from actual police reports. And Haaretz, which reported the police reports. Israeli outlet Haaretz has acknowledged a police report confirmed partygoers at a festival 3 miles from the Gaza border were killed by the Israeli military on October 7th. In an article published November 19th, Haaretz reporter Josh Briner wrote that an official investigation into the deaths of Nova Festival attendees revealed that an IDF combat helicopter that arrived at the scene from the Ramat David base fired at the terrorists and apparently also hit some of the revelers who were there, citing a police source. And let's see, here's the actual article. According to a police source, investigation into the incident also revealed that the IDF combat helicopter hit some of the revelers. Okay, 300, I had said 200. 364 people were killed at the festival. But this also would explain, now they don't say how many the IDF killed, but this would also explain how you have such a breathtaking number of deaths.
No, it wouldn't, Lee. No, see, you're wrong. They probably killed a couple. They probably did. They're fucking sloppy bitches. And who knows who was in on this and whatever. But at the same time, Hamas went in there with fucking assault rifles, with machine guns, with fully automatic weapons. They found people who were herded in concentrated areas. They got a rock concert. They went into kibbutzes where people are kind of gated in. They're in their homes. They're in these areas. They're easy to fucking corral and kill. Large groups of people, families of 5, 6. Go in, kill all 6 of them. Boom. You got a machine gun. You know, he's making a statement there that is just, totally off the cuff. And it does. And I hate when he does this because he's dry. Sometimes he's hard to listen to sometimes. And at that moment right there, he's just like riffing and not making any sense. You know, listen to him. Listen to him say it one more time here.
People were killed at the festival, but this also would explain. Now they don't say how many the IDF killed, but this would also explain how you have such a breathtaking number of deaths.
No, absolutely not. You know, Hamas gets the credit for, I would probably say, 99% of the deaths on that day. And all that, if that was the United States, would come out investigations. Each body would be investigated, and you'd find out what kind of munitions were involved in each death. I don't think Israel's going to have that kind of transparency. And I do believe that Israel was firing into friendly areas to try to kill some of these guys. And I do believe that may have been intended to kill even more people. Absolutely. But I'm going to have to go with, the vast majority of murders that day were done by Hamas. And the vast number gets awarded to Hamas for doing what they did. This narrative I've heard from several people on the internet, and it just doesn't fit, man,
This is a grisly thing to talk about, but your average mass shooter is not able to kill more than a dozen, or in the very rare cases, a few dozen people.
What? What is he thinking, man? Now he's just going into La La Land. I cannot believe he's saying that. Dude, when you are a Hamas soldier and you're on the back of a motorcycle with a backpack and an assault rifle, what do you think's in the backpack, Lee? Fucking beach towels? So everybody in the audience right now, tell me what's in the backpacks. If you got an assault rifle and you're going to war and you're going to kill people and you got a backpack, what's in the backpack? You got an assault rifle. It's got a clip in it. You probably kill 30 or 40, maybe 50 people with that clip. Right? It's a machine gun. Come on, work with me. Work with me, folks. What's in the backpack? You got a gun. You got a clip in it. What are you bringing with you? Come on, somebody. Who's with me here? Come on, folks. You can do this. No. Yes, tropical thing. Yes, ammunition, more bullets, more clips. Of course. So when you finish a clip, whether it's a 30 round or a 75 round or whatever it is that's in your gun, you reach in your backpack and you put another clip in. For him to think that one person isn't capable of killing 100 people with a machine gun at a festival where people are running like cattle across a field, or in a kibbutz where everybody's cornered in, it's hilarious. I mean, he's really going to go with okay, great. So where's all the witness accounts, Lee? Where's all the Israelis coming forward and saying, we were attacked by Israeli tanks and helicopters? Where's all those people at, bro? Where's the witness reports, man? I got news for you, bro. Yeah, the internet might be down in Gaza, but all the Israelis still have access to the internet. And I guarantee you, if they saw their own country mowing them down, you'd probably be hearing it in podcasts, posts on the internet. They've got access. I'm confused about that. And like I said, he's not the only one to say this.
the worst mass shooting in American history was the Las Vegas one, and the reason that went on so long, meaning he was basically able to just keep murdering people, was because he was up in a hotel room and they couldn't find him, and so he just kept firing on people.
Right.
And he killed 50.
Yeah, and these guys trained on the border of Israel up to a year before they did this. You're right, and they were training with live ammo, I'm sure. These guys all have technical expertise in the weapons they're using and understand how to hit their targets from different positions and whatever it is the fuck they're doing. Yeah, Lee is he's talking about some kid out of his mom's basement, coming out like a mass shooter.
So
this is a trained soldier against fucking unarmed civilians. Elderly, children, you name it. Who's ever in their sight.
I think maybe 60. And so, yes, there was more than one Hamas fighter.
Yeah.
But even if they...
Yeah, there were a lot of Hamas fighters, Lee. I don't understand. Yeah, there were a lot of dudes that came across, bro. And every single one of them had guns. And every single one of them was there to murder as many people as they could.
They ran into this festival event and just started killing everyone, which we know from other evidence was not their aim. Their aim was mainly to take hostages, but let's say they ran in there and were just trying to kill everyone. They still wouldn't be able to kill 264. However, a helicopter gunner could do a massive amount of damage in a small amount of time.
Yeah, Lee, an Israeli gunner from a helicopter saw Israelis running across a field from his machine guns in the nose of that gun and decided, I'm just going to mow down a bunch of Israelis. Yeah, that really happened, Lee. Come on, dude.
And it...
Come on, dude. You're jumping the shark.
Stands to reason that the IDF probably was
I'm seeing
responsible for a lot
sharks
of
jumping
these
out of the water. Sharks.
Let's see if I highlight it a little more. Israeli
Jumping
officials
out
have
of the
sought to
water.
stifle coverage of their actions in Gaza with newly passed emergency regulations allowing police to crack down on critical reporters accused of, quote, harming national morale. In Israel, you're no longer report anything that harms national morale. So if that same shit were passed in the United States, I would not be able to do any reporting. Now, I have been heavily suppressed, had many things deleted, many platforms deleted, but I have not been arrested. Whereas it sounds like in the new Israeli policy, you could be arrested.
Have you guys heard they've murdered like 79 journalists in Gaza so far? The Israeli government has murdered 79 journalists.
For harming national morale. The article continues, Tel Aviv's restrictions on media efforts to cover its deadly siege extend to Gaza itself, with CNN's Fareed Zakaria admitting, and Fareed Zakaria does neoliberal manufacturing of consent for war endlessly. So when these CNN and MSNBC anchors are forced to admit these things, that means it's really getting pretty bad when they're the ones admitting it. But Fareed Zakaria admitted that as a condition to enter Gaza under IDF escort, outlets have to submit all materials and footage to the Israeli military for review prior to publication. But the article continues, the suggestion that it was the Israeli military which bears responsibility for the Nova Music Festival killings, not Hamas, as both Tel Aviv and Washington have insisted for nearly 6 weeks, has largely been ignored by legacy media. As of publication, not a single mainstream outlet has acknowledged Haaretz's confirmation of the gray zone's disclosures. So, yet again, you have these revelations coming out, and the mainstream media refuses to mention them, cover them. They continue to stick with the quote-unquote official and initial story that all deaths of Israelis on October 7th and the following 2 days were perpetrated by Hamas, but we know that's not true. We know it's absolutely not true. And of course, the festival, although maybe that's where the largest number of murders was, It was just a small part of it. And we know that tanks fired on buildings. We know that Israel has a directive to kill hostages, their own hostages, to kill hostage takers, obviously, and then to kill anyone who happens to be around hostages or hostage takers. It's called the Hannibal Directive, and it's luckily getting some coverage from independent outlets, but you're not going to see anything about it on the mainstream.
Okay, man.
Revolutionary delivery event which shows the Cybertruck is now officially stuck in the mud.
Trucks have been the same for a very long time. Like 100 years. Trucks have been basically the same. We want to try something different.
And for perfect optics, it's getting rescued by a petrol-powered Ford pickup truck. You couldn't make this stuff up.
Yeah, I mean, we dug our own grave with Cybertruck. You know, nobody, you know, in general, I feel like nobody digs their grave better than themselves.
Anyway, it looks like they've finally got single-digit numbers of trucks ready to be delivered. Given that they said they made their first one about 6 months ago, that means their amazing production record for the first 6 months was they finished almost 2 Cybertrucks per month.
What I can say is we're going to move to just truly massive scale. Scale that no company has ever achieved in the history of humanity.
Stand by, Jonah. We might need you quite a lot in this video. But I think we can all agree, with production numbers like that, Elon Musk deserves his rock star entrance here.
Welcome to the Cybertruck delivery event.
And they spent so much money on the truck that they couldn't afford lights anymore.
So, I'm going to do it from the back of the truck here.
Actually, I'm going to guess the whole no lights thing was quite intentional. For some strange reason, this clip keeps coming to mind.
So you're going to make me look sexier, but it's awfully dark in here.
Light is not your friend. All right, let's do this thing.
Once in a long while, a product comes along that
No,
is
Laurie, Granny Cam, everybody cheers.
rare.
Yes, folks, once in a long while, someone has the brilliant idea of designing a truck so ugly that it's best appreciated when the lights are off.
Is that it?
You know, with the Cybertruck unveil, it was all brightly lit, razzle-dazzle. They wanted you to see it. With the delivery event, it was kind of like they didn't want you to see what they'd made. You know, it's sufficiently dark that the cameraman actually has trouble finding Elon Musk in the dark.
Special moments.
You can also see instantly, if you compare between the unveil event some 4 years ago and the delivery event, there are things that they proudly proclaim in the unveil event.
But it's gonna...
He doesn't cover it unless he hates it deeply. He hates Elon Musk. That's one thing I love about
at the delivery event. Musk doesn't mention once how much it costs and how far it can drive, but does find time to discuss these really important details.
And you're right, it takes away from his ability to cover it properly because he's so biased.
In the car.
I mean, really, in the entire delivery event,
I see that.
Not one single mention of the cost of the truck. Oddly, that's exactly what happened at the Tesla semi-delivery event. This was some 6 years after they promised a completely revolutionary truck that would be ready in a couple of years, where they had time to cover all the really important stuff like
To watch them put, I mean, I think they even took like a bunch of like the
Dude, did you see Elon? What was Elon driving that truck? He slammed on the brakes, dude, and they were like,
well, that's a wrap, folks.
Fuckers, does he?
Did it. He
Yeah, it's Elon. Look,
trucking.
Fucker doesn't know how to drive. He
Yes, we
almost
can all
ran
go
over a
home.
whole bunch of people.
Seriously, they're
Fucking
trying
idiot.
to mention the design of the cup holders, and how amazing all the wireless charging and USB ports on a truck was
I
going
just
to
realized
be.
what that
You've got
was.
the plugins, the wireless charging, everything they need on the electronic side as well.
But
Wireless charging!
Cover some trivial
Wireless
details like how many
charging!
they're actually delivering, how much they cost, and how much cargo they could haul. I mean, is it just me, or is there a sort of pattern here of promising something that is world-changing and revolutionary, and then years late delivering a product that could be generously described as mediocre?
And that's why we are guaranteeing that this truck will not break down for 1,000,000 miles.
Yeah, there you go. It's a Tesla truck.
Must have gone 1,000,001 miles.
With the service battery coming up to it. Tesla service truck. Big Rick Wrecker.
Yeah, and there's only like 35 of these things on the road or something.
Starting with performance. So we have an acronym we came up with.
And ended up delivering literally the slowest truck.
No,
Guess we can all go home now.
No, he literally he guaranteed that none of those things would go after 1,000,000. I mean, just that on its own. I don't know how far we got in, man. I can't find that place where we were. Is it right here?
Generously described as mediocre.
And that's why we are guaranteeing that this truck will not break down for 1,000,000 miles.
They guaranteed it. He guaranteed it. And then this.
Yeah, there you go. It's
Boom.
a Tesla
That's his
truck.
guarantee. Such an idiot, man. Why would you say something so
Service
dumb?
battery
I
coming
mean,
up to it. Tesla.
you didn't have to say that, Elon, you idiot. You didn't have to guarantee that it wouldn't break down. It's a fucking truck. If you knew anything about trucks, you know, hey, every once in a while, one of them breaks down. Even a good one will break down.
Service
Dumbass.
truck. Big
He
Rick
really
Wrecker.
thinks that he's a god.
Yeah.
He
and
really
there's only
thinks
like
he's a god.
35 of these things on the road
He
or
can
something.
build a truck that
Starting with
won't break down.
Performance. So we have an acronym we came up with.
Crazy.
And ended up delivering literally the slowest truck on the road, and fulfilled none of the crazy things that Musk had promised at the unveil event.
We're confident that this is a product that is better in every way from a feature standpoint, that wins on economics against diesel trucks in a worst case scenario, and that defeats rail in a convoy scenario.
Yeah, it's now the end of 2023, and they can do none, exactly none of those things. Meanwhile, this is what Musk was saying in 2017.
So I want to be clear, this is something we can do now.
He's been driven around.
This is all starting to
Just the
sound
way he slammed on those
very
brakes,
familiar.
dude. Just like,
Long
what
story
a
short,
noob.
the top of the range version was meant to have a range of 500 plus miles and cost
His
about
AI drive- yeah,
$70,000.
$82,000.
It said every single Tesla was being recalled, bro. Every single one. That's fucking crazy.
This monstrosity cost $82,000.
What did Musk deliver? 300-mile range, and if we're doing a like-to-like comparison, $105,000. After all, that's what that little asterisk is there for. Curiously, Musk didn't need that asterisk when he was making his vaporware promises.
So that's the price without any incentives. That's just like the price without any incentives.
And it's also worth noting that while Musk boldly claimed what the stats were going to be some 4 years ago, now the stats are estimated price and estimated range. And if you're going to buy your truck now as part of the Founders Series, it'll go up to about $120,000. Yeah, that's before you start adding the bells and whistles. So ballpark figures, it delivers about half of what Elon Musk promised for about twice the price. That is, it's about 4 times worse than what Elon Musk promised.
We have a car here that experts said.
Look
was
at the
impossible,
lighting.
That experts said would.
You can't even
never
see
be
his
made.
face. It's so funny.
Yes.
He's so dumb.
And you didn't make it. But please don't want to say that something delivers a quarter of what you promised is your best product ever.
Bro. Yo, I'm saying Cyber against Cybertropia. Yo, Elon Musk, check this out, bro. You could have appeared in a dark alleyway, set like you are right there, with a light on you. And yeah, it wouldn't have lit up everything else behind you. They're called spotlights, but you're too fucking dumb to know that.
It really is the most.
God.
I think it's our best product. I think.
But that's just for the people willing to drop $100,000 to maybe get a truck. Sometime in the next year, maybe.
I know, right, Billy?
Just to be clear, there are people who paid Elon Musk $250,000 for the Founders Edition Roadster back in 2017, and they're still waiting for their car. But on their website, they do state that if you do order the lower-end version, that they won't even think about starting to make these until at least 2025. So that's a year of Elon time. So in reality, what, 2029, 2034, that sort of thing? No, really. Apparently, everyone told Elon Musk it was impossible to make a needlessly heavy, overpriced pickup truck. It was just totally impossible. It couldn't be done. And seeing as this was the first day that they were delivering this amazing truck, it must have been a fantastic day for the Tesla stock, right? What's that? It had no effect whatsoever on the Tesla stock price. And if you're thinking, well, okay, so no one cares about the Cybertruck, when Musk said we dug our own graves with Cybertruck, it wiped billions off the stock value of Tesla. But hey, I remember the unveil event. The Cybertruck was going to have Tesla engineered
thermonuclear explosion-proof glass.
Let's show the glass demo.
Thermonuclear explosion proof.
Nothing. Yeah.
I mean, remember how much time they spent setting it up? They had cyberpunks dropping stuff onto Tesla trademark, specially designed, toughened glass made by Tesla engineers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until, of course, they came to actually try it out, and it didn't go so well.
Franz, could you try to break this glass, please? Sure? Yeah. Oh my fucking god. Well, maybe that was a little too hard. It didn't go through. So that's a plus side. Let's try that, right? Try that on, really? Okay. Sure. Oh man, it didn't go through. Once every 5 to 10 years, something really special.
I like how he's like, it didn't go through.
A really unusual product comes along.
Any questions?
And we'll remember those special moments.
We sure do, Elon. We sure do. But hey, now we're at the delivery event. I'm sure Tesla is going to do it properly this time.
And, Franz, maybe we should try it again.
Sorry, what's that? Rather than redesigning the car, they redesigned the metal ball to a baseball. Except that baseball bounces and sounds a lot like a tennis ball? Maybe a reminder of how bouncy baseballs are on a hard concrete surface. So now the Tesla engineered armored glass can take a devastating hit from the most noodly armed throw of a tennis ball. And yes, that little bit in the background there is the only mention of armored glass in the whole event. And for those who don't know, the special Tesla designed toughened glass is basically just regular toughened glass. There is nothing special about it. But let's just briefly come back to that decrease in range from 500 plus miles to estimated 320-ish. But now let's add in Tesla's documented history of exaggerating their range stats. When the battery was fully charged, they would just add something like 30% extra range to it so they could boast that the Tesla battery packs had more.
Hey, dumbass fucking Elon. You know how when people accidentally drive off a bridge or something, lose control of their car, get into an accident, end up in the water, and they have these things that allow you to break the glass so you can get out? How the fuck is somebody supposed to get out of one of your electric cars when they get submerged underwater, you fucking idiot? Let me know.
More range than everyone else.
Those things
and then,
float
of course,
like
when
boats.
the battery got to about half full,
I think I saw him driving it like a boat in the water, right? Is the thing like a
which
boat?
got them so many complaints that they set up a call center to tell people, no, your Tesla is behaving within spec. So its range is basically completely vanilla compared to every other electric truck on the market. 300 miles range in total, so let's say 280 after their battery pumping scheme. Then on some of the Tesla superchargers, they will charge you $1 extra per minute if you charge over 90%. So let's give them the 90% value on that. So realistic range, 250-ish, maybe 125 while towing something, and probably less than 100 if you're towing something in the cold. And if you think I'm just being mean to Cybertruck here, no, those are basically the stats for all of the other electric trucks as well. You know, that you basically halve your range whilst you're towing something, and you lose another 30-odd% when it gets cold. Now, sure, they say you can add a range extender, which apparently Rivian has a patent on or something, but that range extender is basically putting another giant-ass battery in the bed of the truck. And if you take some fairly sensible numbers for the size of the Cybertruck battery pack, then the range extender is basically going to be a long-range Model 3 battery pack, which weighs about half a ton, and likely Tesla will charge you the best part of $20,000 for it. It will take up half the space of the bed of the truck, with the other half, if you're so inclined, being taken up by a spare wheel. Yes, those are images taken off the Tesla website. Further, that half-ton battery pack will require specialized equipment to both put it in and take it out of the truck. It's basically useless. I mean, for me, these are just silly numbers. When I had a car in America, my car cost $3,000. The telescope that I carried around in the car cost more than the car. I'm currently in New York. I'm going to be following the setting sun with my telescope and various other stuff to the Pacific. In the car we have planes, more planes, a camera that's going to be doing the time-lapse for us. Oh, one last thing, here's some music. And it worked fine for the best part of a decade. The concept of blowing $150,000, it's getting on for the price of a house on a truck, is just kinda alien to me. Even more alien to me, however, is the idea that selling ludicrously expensive luxury electric cars to a select group of
I like
rich
how the
people.
picture makes it look
Tesla
like it's on
currently
bars.
sells twice as much in terms of electric vehicles
So
as the rest
intentional.
of electric car makers in the United States combined.
Electric vehicles are a capitalist-friendly way for granola yuppies to do their environmental virtue signaling.
Tesla has done more to help the environment than all other companies combined.
For tech bros to feel intellectually superior, and for anxious parents to feel like they're building a better tomorrow.
It would be fair to say that, therefore, as a leader of the company, I've done more for the environment than everyone else, any single human on Earth.
Regret to inform, sir, that electric cars are only any better for the environment if you generate the energy from renewables. And America generates about 80% of its electricity from burning fossil fuels. You know, it's that whole carrying a ton and a half of batteries and metal and plastic around with you everywhere you go. As Wiki puts it, about 0.5% of the total energy is used to move the person, while the remaining 99.5% of the energy is used to transport the car.
Self-sustainable energy, we have to have a pickup truck. So I present to you the Cybertruck.
And now, out of pure green philanthropy, Musk has increased the amount of metal and batteries that you have to carry around with you, in the Cybertruck's case, to about 3.5 tons. 4 with a range extender.
It would be fair to say that, therefore, as a leader of the company, I've done more for the environment than everyone else, any single human on Earth.
And this lecture in self-righteousness was brought to you free of charge by a guy whose jet travel alone has a carbon footprint about 100 times bigger than the average person watching this video.
And what I see all over the place is people who care about looking good while doing evil. Them. Okay?
You see, basically any form of public transport, you know, those things that Musk is vehemently opposed to, is about 10 times better for the environment than an electric car. In fact, it's since come to light that the only reason Musk proposed the Hyperloop, not his idea, just a vacuum train, but the only reason he proposed it was to try and sabotage the California high-speed rail. He tried to sabotage something that would have been better for the environment. For what? Insert your reason here, but presumably so he could sell more electric cars that would be worse for the environment.
And what I see all over the place is people who care about looking good while doing evil.
You don't say, Elon. You don't say. Anyway, back to Cybertruck. Yeah, they are hardly amazing stats for a truck. The only real difference is this has body panels made out of 3mm thick stainless steel, which is just a stupid thing to make a vehicle out of. Now, regular car panels are typically very thin, like sub-millimeter. 3mm alone is ludicrously thick for car paneling. Right, just so we're clear what we're talking about, this is roughly what stainless steel of about the thickness that you'd make a regular car body out of would look like. So it's fairly soft, fairly squidgy, it's a bit thinner, but it doesn't really matter. It's lightweight, and if you need to cut people out of it, in the case of a car crash, then you can do it with things like the jaws of life. Meanwhile, you shift that to something that is, this is 3mm thick mild steel, but not only does this weigh an absolute bloody ton, it's solid. Yeah, so this is what 3mm thick steel looks like. And yeah, it weighs an absolute ton. So stainless steel and mild steel are fairly comparable densities, but this is like a 1/2 meter by 1/2 meter. It's like 1.5 foot by 1.5 foot. And that weighs 5.5 kilos, give or take 10 pounds. And that's like one small sheet like this. It's needlessly heavy, and what does it get you? Doors that weigh about 30 kilos, 60 pounds. Look, if you're worried that a long-range battery's too big and heavy, and you're just carrying them around, and it's just diminishing the performance of your car.
If you ask people that say, well, I want, 600 miles range. I'm like, okay, well, that means most of the time you're holding around a battery pack you're not going to use. So
and it'll slow you down. It'll inhibit handling.
Yeah, it's like what?
Why are you adding a ton or so of weight to the mass of the truck for no tangible benefit? None.
So, and so people say like, well, why'd you make it bulletproof? I'm like, why not?
Because making the truck needlessly heavy is a really dumb idea. At least carrying a bigger battery around, you get some tangible benefit out of it. You get nothing out of making the car out of thicker steel. Now, initially, of course, it was going to be an exoskeleton, which is why I needed this thick paneling on it. But they basically ditched all of that in favor of a regular car construction with heavy metal panels stuck on top.
Dude, how are they gonna fucking scrap those fucking things, man? Oh my god, they just put that in a crusher? Can you crush that down, I wonder? That is freaking crazy. All right, man. That's an hour. Hope you guys had fun. I will see you on the next show. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching. You guys find me over there on Twitter at Nay's Garden. At Nay's Garden on Twitter, guys. I'll see you there. With the diamond coat? That's crazy.